What's going on, everybody? This is Paulo, aka Bitcoin Yoda. It's been a crazy past couple of days, and especially past couple of hours with Bitcoin. A lot of you have been asking me, what should I do? Should I buy right now? Should I wait? Do you think it's going to go lower? Let's take a look. Well, if we take a look at Bitcoin on a one-day chart, here's what we look at. You can see how parabolic this movement is. The growth here was just crazy. Normally we like to see linear growth where the trend would be something like, something like that. That makes sense, right? That makes sense. Or even like this. That just, see that trend? That kind of makes more sense. But what we saw was this. We saw that. So naturally, when it's that steep, expect it to go down pretty fast. Okay, that doesn't mean that it's a bear market. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin's tanking. It could be, I don't know, but I doubt it. And we're already starting to see some correction here. But what that means is if it's going up that fast, it's bound to go down pretty fast as well. I didn't expect it to go down that fast, like what we saw over the past, couple of days, especially over last night. But here's my take on it. Okay. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. If we look at the Fibonacci, which is a ratio I always like to use because it's almost spot on every single time. But if we look at the last level of real support, which is around 8,000, and here we go, peaked at around almost 2,000. What do we see? Well, and when you use Fibonacci for retracement, you like to use the 50% or the 618. And you can see if we zoom in a little bit so it doesn't look so crazy. If you see here, the 50% is right around 14,000. Actually, let me adjust this a little bit. Let's use this. So 50% is right around 12.6, somewhere around there. And if we look at that over the past, in a 1 hour chart, again using the same data, you can see actually I take it back. Let's use a 1 day. You can see that it pretty much hit it, right? Usually what tends to happen when you see it go all the way up and then it'll go downwards, hit the 50%, what you can expect is that your next movement is going to be a bounce up, where it goes back up, making a higher high, breaking the 20,000. But what we saw is that it actually broke the 50%, kissed the 618, right, just right here at around, depending on what exchanger you're looking at, but right around 11,000, yeah, a little below 11,000 on Bitfinex, and now it's starting to go back up. So what does that mean? That means that we're going to start to see it go back up, but it's not going to be as dramatic as if it only touched the 50% and did a retracement. So what we'll probably see, again, I'm not a financial advisor, so this is just based on my knowledge and what a lot of other people's knowledge is of looking at charts. But what you'll start to see most likely is that it will eventually go like this. And let's look on a 1 hour chart so that it makes a little bit more sense when you see it. So what I did was I zoomed in, and now we're looking at it on a 1 hour chart. Okay, adjust that a little bit. That's the trend going down, but then you also have this new trend of it going back up. So we'll probably start to see at some point it'll intersect. Okay, so let's zoom out. You'll start to probably see it work its way back up to here where it intersects at around 15, and that's like a nice round number. Thing is, with cryptocurrency, they like really, the charts really like round numbers, like 20,000, 10,000, 12,000. And it kind of makes sense that it'll consolidate until it hits about 15,000 or so. And then from there, hopefully what we start to see is continued growth, but at a more manageable pace. So let's back up. What does that mean for right now? Should I buy? Should I hold? Should I sell? What's going on? Well, here's what I did. I had a buy order set up exactly at 12,500, and here's what happened. I had a buy order set up at exactly 12,500, and it triggered. So I had a buy order set up at 12,500. Here, let me just go over to my Poloniex account so you can see. This is the Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin USD. So here, I had this set up so that it would hit, and I set this up about, 2 weeks ago, expecting a correction at 12,500, and it triggered. And so what I did before is I sold at 17.7 and was waiting for it to get down at 12.5, and I got back in, and I started to see it go back up. So I got back in at around 13.7. This was all last night at around 1 o'clock in the morning PST. But it went up even more and then went back down. So right now it's still playing, which we expect. It's consolidating. So should I buy right now? I would suggest that you dollar cost average, get in. You know, I think long term, if you're going to hold, it's going to go back up. You know, it's just, do you want to wait for it all the way to hit at the bottom, which may not even happen? It's really up to you. So my suggestion is, if you are going to enter this space, get in with a small position now, set some buy orders at maybe around 12.5, and if you want to set a huge buy order at around 10,000 or maybe even 11,000, whatever you're comfortable with, just in case it does dip back down to the 61% at around 11,000 or so. Okay. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. In the meantime, we're seeing huge sales with other altcoins that are promising. So the ones that I'm looking out at are, let me show you here what's on my watch list right now. Well, I'm looking at Ripple. Ripple had a huge rally. There's some good news that I think is going to happen in the next couple of weeks. So Ripple, XRP, Ethereum is always good. Litecoin, there's some news that Charlie Lee sold all his positions. Charlie Lee is the creator of Litecoin. But, you know, I think 230, maybe 200, 225, that's a good entry point. But for long term, Ripple, Ethereum, Litecoin, you can't go wrong with the top 10, which are based on market cap. You know, if you go to this website, coinmarketcap.com, you can see what are the top 10. So I hold positions in all of these. I'm not too pleased with Bitcoin Cash. I don't really think it is going to go up past 3, 5, or 4,000. So I'm kind of selling out my positions on Bitcoin Cash. Stocking up on Ripple, I'd like to buy it like $1, maybe 90 cents. Litecoin at around 225. Cardano is really good. It is at 41 cents right now. I'd say pull the trigger on Cardano at this price. IOTA, for me, I like the ones that it had a big growth. I think long term IOTA will do well. But there's other ones to look out for, like Wabi. And I'll make another video about that. But Wabi, Omesigo, which is supposed to be the Ethereum killer, and Verge, XGV, that had a huge rally. I think I tripled on that one. So, but yeah, let me know if you have any comments, what your thoughts are, what you're doing, and if you have any suggestions also. It is December 22, 2017. This is Paulo signing off.